Hello, my fellow Hillomers. Yes, it's me. I'm back. Not with a video capsule recast, but with a special edition of touching base with all of you. I know that you have been asking me around, hey, what happened with the videos? Why are you not posting something? And of course, I want to take a break after so many followers and so many money that we were able to capitalize on your views. But I think it's well long overdue to actually have a touch base. Plus, I've been floated with letters from all of you guys, so I think it's only fair to have at least a special edition. And also, hey, I want to give my fellow countryman Carlos Mendoza, the manager of the New York Mets, a bit of a positive vibe for him to actually beat the Dodgers. They're against the wall, as the Shalom Mets were, and we managed to be in the finals. So hopefully Carlos can pull it off and get into the finals. And lucky for him, the Royals are out. So if he gets into the World Series, he's not gonna have to face the Royals. So best of luck for him, and hopefully the Green Match help him. So you might be wondering what exactly I'm gonna be talking about, or is it just an effort to gain more followers? Probably both. But there have been some questions about the assessment of the upcoming second edition of the Softball World Classic we're going to have between November 3rd and the 10th. So my purpose of this special edition will be just to do a personal view on each one of the four rosters. Of course, there's going to be some bias because I'm going to be representing one of those, but I'll try to be as objective as possible, telling you what are the things on pros and cons. What do I foresee to be the biggest strengths and weaknesses of each one of those teams? We aren't necessarily disclosing our strategy, for that matter, on the Venezuela team, but something that can be, I guess, somehow interesting for all of you to see what to expect in the classic that is going to happen in the next couple of weeks. So bear with me as I go team by team on this assessment. See you in that section. So let's start this assessment with the defending champions, Team USA. Of course, one of your favorites to win it all, and a very controversial team here at my house because last time the US played against Venezuela for the World Baseball Classic, Mateo was jumping around when Trey Turner hit the Grand Slam. So definitely a bit of a friction when it comes to that rivalry, I'll say. But nonetheless, I mean, a great team to watch. I took a step on all those four teams and trying to assess them into the five tools that you evaluate a player, which is our power, contact, arm, defense, and speed. And again, all of my personal view, I gave them a ranking from one to four, being one the highest and four the lowest, on all of those five aspects. So let me start with Team USA. Team USA, in my opinion, is number two in power from all the four teams. They're number three in contact. They're number four in speed. They're three in defense, and they're two on arm. Again, personal view, but how that composition plays into the U.S. options to win it once again. To me, it's going to be how do they focus on their smart base running? They have tons of baseball and softball IQ, and they have great power hitting. So if they manage to run the bases smart, which they're quite capable to it because of their IQ and their coaching for that matter, and their power hitters find those players on base and capitalize on that, watch for the US because that's going to be their perfect combination for them to take the wins and take the trophy home. Another piece that I wanted to add into this quick assessment, and I have done for all the teams, is key players to watch. What are those guys that actually can move the needle and make the team successful? Right? Everyone is going to pull to it, but those are the three guys that I think you should be keeping a close eye to it in the Team USA. Randy Ransom, Hall of Famer Randy Ransom, he can make a big difference. Ben and Low and his extremely good power, and of course my favorite St. John candidate, Michael Thiele. A bit of a bias there, but definitely Mike can make a huge difference in the team, especially when you have to rotate players from one game to the other. So let's jump into the next team to be assessed, Team Israel. Second team on the list for the assessment is Team Israel. Not going to boil down into the aspect. I think I already explained that to Team USA. So Team Israel, in my opinion, comes fourth in power, comes one in both contact and speed. So watch for that combination. They come two on defense and they come one in arm. You do the math, probably, in my personal opinion, they come as a favorite to win it all because of the balance of that team. And that composition, to me, the key areas for them to focus to succeed are going to be capitalize on speed. Their spin is unheard. Their smart defense, and more importantly, which could be a strength or a weakness, is the youth spirit, right? They're going to have all that passion, all of those youth players, or the majority of them, that they're going to be very excited to win it and bring some joy to Team Israel and the fans, but that also can play against you depending on how you can manage pressure when you're facing a tough situation. But nonetheless, to me, Team Israel is an extremely solid team. They were this close to win it last year, and quite frankly, I think that's going to be a very tough team to beat in this classic. Three players to watch, in my opinion, are going to be Dylan. I think having a player that will be playing the major leagues probably in the future, who knows? We all wish for that. Definitely is a great factor to have. Jay Swang, which has improved dramatically in the past few years, is a complete new, different player. I mean, it is just amazing what how much Jay has improved. And also, and you might also call some bias, I think Greeny is a key aspect to it. However, for those saying that I might have been biased just because he's my coach in the fall, remember, he was the pitcher that beat the Mets. So I don't know about that bias. Nonetheless, those two players, keep a close eye to it. I think they can make a huge difference in the opportunities for Israel to win it all. Now, let's go into the assessment for world team. Next one in the list is Team World. So, in line with the assessment done on the previous two teams, Team USA and Israel, my overview when it comes to Team World on the five aspect is that they're going to be by far the strongest team when it comes to power. Number one, they're going to have four on contact as well as defense out of the four teams. They're ranking three on speed and same with arm. That being said, I want to say that every team has a very good chance and it's going to be a very, very equal tournament. But of course, you have to allocate rankings depending on your view. I want to say also that Team World looks completely different from what Jason put together a year ago. And I mean, no wonder you're changing the rules. Of course, the composition of your team is going to be different. And I think that might have an impact in the dynamics within the team. That being said, they're still very powerful house. I want to say that they were very close to the U.S. in the last edition when it came to power, and I think this time they're by far the strongest team when it comes to power. And the keys to win, in my opinion, for Team World are going to be capitalize on power, no brainer, leverage on their bottom of the lineup. If their bottom of the lineup can deliver on top of their expectation, then watch out for Team World because they can be for all the marbles. And ultimately, how do you find a common ground to root for, right? Team Israel, Team US, and Team Venezuela, we all have something in common, which is going to be your origins or roots or what have you that connects us together, right? Team World is a bit different because you're pulling together from people from all over the world, right? I don't know how many countries are going to be represented this year. I did like what you guys did the last edition, having the flag on one of your sleeves. That being said, if you manage to have something in common to pull together, that unites you, then you're gonna have a good chances to succeed. And like I told to Jason, if you need some inspiration, play Michael Jackson "We Are the World" song, and probably that's gonna put together everyone. Three players to watch, in my opinion, for Team World are gonna be the fastest player in the league or close to Jackson, which is gonna be Team Abrochamiento. U.S. Hall of Famer, softball Hall of Famer John Kilburn. His baseball IQ and understanding of the game is unheard, so leverage on that. And also, so happy to see one of the smoothest fielders in the outfield that this league has, in the name of Rohit Kulhati. Very good friend, and I just very happy to see him playing. I think he can make a huge difference in the outfield, position wise, and altogether solidify their defense. 3 out of 4 teams have been analyzed. Let's jump into, of course, my favorite. I'll try to remove all the bias and all the subjectivity, but let's dive into Team Venezuela. So the moment that you have been waiting for, the assessment of the Team Venezuela by the guy that actually drafted the team. So, like I said, I'll promise to be as objective as possible, remove any bias that I might have, and I'll focus on the 5 elements that I have used for the other 3 teams that I have assessed. So, on power, we're going to be third out of 4. Definitely not our biggest strength for sure. When it comes to defense, I do believe that's our biggest strength, though. I think we're ranking 1 when it comes to defense, although that might be a double edged sword, if you will. Content and speed is going to be 2 on each. So I believe our contact or speed or ability to combine those is going to be also key in order for us to win it all. And when it comes to arm, we're coming in dead last. So how do you translate those elements into success? Well, definitely top-notch defense, as I said before, is going to be key, but also making sure that we don't force unnecessary plays. Just make routine plays and don't try to show off something, right? Also, how do you capitalize on aggressive playing, right? So the fact that you have very, very good speed and contact has to be translated also in the way that we play the ball and that we have historically done it, right? So how do you actually capitalize on those and make the other team to make an error or just altogether score a couple of runs that were not necessarily planned for a specific inning? And lastly, how do you tap into that national pride spirit? So that's something that definitely the Team USA will have, and in some degree, Team Israel will have it as well. But different from those other 2 teams, 14 out of the 15 players were not born here in the US. So we are foreigners, if you will, some with more time than others, but definitely that connection to our homeland in this type of event is unique. And you'll see it from the moment that we enter the tournament all the way to do exit and we play. So for sure, that's going to be a key element to tap into it. Along with the fact that you can also speak in another language that can help you to arrange things differently without anyone else understanding or the majority not understanding. Players to watch, similar to the other teams, there are 3 guys that I highlighted here. Promise you, I'm not gonna be on that list. Like I barely will play. Uh, but one is gonna be Jose Polonia. So happy to see him back in the city. Great player, terrific speed, and an overall great person to be with. I think he's gonna rank even higher in the years to come as he keep playing in Shalom. Toto Hungers, he's having a fantastic fall season, and I think he's destined to be doing even better. So he's gonna be a key to success, and also my dear friend Gilberto Amaya. Gilberto, although comes from one of the regions that has a lot of things to say about the rest of Venezuela, he's a great guy to be with, a lot of power, and I think a very underrated player altogether that might go up in the years to come. So with that, that concludes the assessment on Team Venezuela. Unfortunately, for my dear fellow fans that stay all the way to the end, I'm not gonna have a fan voice. However, I'm gonna delight you with a bit of a bloopers that happened days before me recording the previous to last episode on the video capsule recaps of the Mets. It's going to be in Spanish, so in case you don't understand it, well, feel free to ping me. I'll try to give you some sort of closed caption or some explanation of what happened, but hopefully you can enjoy that. And well, I cannot say goodbye without saying, remember, you want to have the time of your life, bring your kiddos, bring your wife. The league, not just the Met, guarantees you a fun time. So long. Grabando, ¿qué vas a decir? No, ¿y tu gorra? Aquí la tengo. Pero póntela bien. Voltéatela. Así vas a salir en el video. ¿Y qué vas a decir? ¿Qué vas a decir con este? ¿Quién quieres que gane? Mira, juegan los Mets contra los Royals. Quiero que ganen. Let's go Mets para ser campeones y una copa. Sí, una copa grande, claro. hasta el cielo. Puede ser, pero no te vayas. No estás en la cámara. La cámara, mira. Mm, Let's go, Mets. Y bye bye.